I'm sure many of you have seen our little HINO rollback in our videos. I've never had a HINO before, and I have to tell you, I like that truck. It was getting 9 point something miles a gallon. It was air braked, air ride suspension, air ride seat, 21-foot aluminum bed. The problem was it's an expensive rollback, and I don't want to keep it, so I had it for sale. Somebody came up and they bought it, so it's leaving, and I don't want to be without a small rollback. So I found this one, and I thought this is more suiting to me because it was a lot less expensive, and it suits me perfect. I didn't like the aluminum bed because we do some stuff that's you know, kind of rough, dragging stuff on and off. So I found this. It belonged to a tractor dealership, and they had closed up and they sold it. So I found it. I went and looked at it. It's a 1990. The model says 4600. I would assume it would have been an S series if someone changed the cab and stuff, but the VIN number on the cab matches the frame, so I guess it's a 4600. It's got a 7.3 IDI. If you don't know what that is, that's the first generation before the Power Stroke 7.3. It's indirect injection, has an injection pump with 8 separate injectors that are serviceable from outside the valve cover. Non-electronic motor. The only thing electronic about it is the fuel solenoid. And it has how many miles?
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
I don't know. I went up and looked at it, and I started up, let it run for, I don't know, probably an hour and a half while I was looking it over. And very, very small amount of blow-by, and didn't overheat or anything. But this is what was very attractive to me. We just don't see trucks like this around here. You know, the cab corners are in good shape. They're, you know, they're not all rotted away. The fuel tank's decent. You see they got a little bit of ucky pucky filling a hole there, which doesn't matter to me. The tires have good tread, but they're, you know, Dayton hubs. I don't like Daytons. There's some things about it we don't like, but all in all, it's a pretty decent truck. Obviously, it's been repainted. The truck was a really nice blue color, but someone painted it this green. So there's your IDI. A little bit of a power steering leak. I think I figured it was 170 horse. Yeah, she's 170 horses of raw power. Hydraulic brakes, he put new shocks on it. Brake hose isn't all that old there. It runs good, it drives good, it doesn't get hot or anything. And look, it's a factory AC truck, and all the AC parts are here. I didn't want to try it just because I had a long way home, and you know, she tops out at 64 miles an hour, just about. And you see that hose isn't that old either. Anyways, four-wheel disc brakes. You know, the front tires are, you know, some import something with a little bit of goofy wear going on here. The shocks came after the tires, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It seems to go down the road decent. Frame's in pretty good shape. Rear tires are takeoffs they had. They're not fantastic, but they got lots of tread, and they're not dry rotted. They're not recaps either. Rear lights are kind of goofy. Plates are expired. He replaced a hydraulic hose recently. Apparently this is the one. It's got 4-inch C-channel cross members. This one right here is a little bit thin, but I believe that's the only one. But they're 4-inch. I mean, it's incredibly heavy built. It's got a little place here I'll need to deal with. Could use a wood deck for sure. These tires are the same. And this is another one of those slide backs. You see there's only 2 levers here. One is for the tilt action, that arch, and one for the winch. So now we're going to start it up and tilt the bed back and show you how she works. But it's, man, it's really in pretty good shape. I mean, it's just a little bit of surface rust on the bottom where the paint's come off, but she's in really nice shape, you know. It's a double frame too. We just replaced the batteries not long ago. It does have a charging issue. And it's got 223,000 miles on it.
Oh, why didn't you see that?
Someone has heated the shifter and bent it to be closer to you. That was a little different to get used to, but look at this. All the interior is in place and in good shape. Those are ours. We took them with us. Got a crack in the windshield, not really the end of the world. Actual starting instructions for the 7.3 IDI. Really a pretty clean old truck. Extra belts underneath there. Anyways, now we're gonna run it. We're gonna operate the bed now. Alright, so you see how they work? Pretty slick, pretty ingenious engineering right there, I think. Works pretty well. I like how they got this here, which I didn't even realize that's what that was. That allowed them things to unlock. That's pretty slick. And the slide ram is permanently mounted to a cross member back there with a roller on the inside and a roller on the outside of this I-beam. That's pretty slick because a lot of them just have them on one side, not both. So I like that. If you notice, there's like there's no separate undercarriage for this to roll on. It just rolls right there, which is really neat. So I wonder if I could just replace these with hydraulic cylinders and make it work the same. I would have to think yes. Really shouldn't be a big deal. I may need to make these able to slide. I don't know. I'll look into it. We'll figure it out. Maybe it just has to be a combination of both. I don't know. We'll think on it some. But regardless, the bed is in a really nice shape, as you can see. There's only one spot that I noticed that needed some attention. This is all 4-inch C-channel, so it's a good heavy bed. There's a spot back here in the side, and then on, this is right where the wheels are. There's a thin spot right there. But other than that, the rest of it's all good. Needs to have a wood deck put on. We probably, if we do it, we'll just have the Amish cut us some red oak or white oak, and then we could treat it and put it on. I think that would be adequate. Winch works well. We tested that. Nothing for lights up there. Not a big fan of that bulkhead. Maybe we can do something to make that a little bit better. There's no freewheel on that winch. And I don't know that we can, I haven't looked into it, but it looks like there may have been something for a freewheel right there. So maybe we can get a freewheel on it. Because that kind of stinks when you're trying to get to something and you have to, you know, try and pull the winch out at the same time you're running the winch. That's not ideal at all. We got us a spare tire he had too. He's like, you might as well take that with you. So we did. Now, my plans for this truck are to use it because we need it. I like having the rollback around. The thing about it is I don't like DIDNT wheels. I hate open center wheels. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I have another truck similar to this. It's this one's a 25,500 GVW. I have another one that has a 20,000 GVW. and it has 19.5 wheels. So I'm gonna look and see if that one, like, I can take the hub numbers off of them and see if I can cross that and see if it works with the other hubs that I have. So if it would be the same inner bearing, outer bearing, and seal, maybe I could swap them out and go to 19.5s and get this thing lower on the front and the rear. It's a 7.3 IDI as well with a 5-speed. So we may be able to swap out the rear axle. I don't know. I think that rear axle I have is smaller than this one. I don't know. We'll look into it. I would much rather have this on 19.5s and get it lower to the ground than having 22.5s, because sometimes we transport boxes off of trucks and height is always a concern. So the lower the better. So we'll have to look into that. If I don't have them, I do have another truck that has bud wheels that I might be able to use. I just don't want to use hubless center Dayton wheels. I know a lot of guys are fans of them. It's not me. You can see how much room there is between here and the ground. There's probably, I'd say, a good 14 inches. So if I can drop that, let's say 4 or 5 inches, I'd be plenty okay with that. It'd help us out quite a bit. We'll get this toolbox off. It's no good. And if I lower it, I don't want it that low. I'll move it up probably even with the top of the frame. I won't even use this. I have others. This one's a little boogered up. Looks like they kind of jarred the hinges or something on it, but not a big deal. A really neat lock system for the bed. That's pretty interesting. The roller right here has to go under this and then back up when it goes under, and then it can't lift because it's over on this side. That's pretty slick. I like that. But cab's in great shape, hood's in great shape, frame's in pretty good shape. It's got a little rust jacking back here at the spot that's been, someone's done something here, a patch or something. You can see the cutout of it. But for the GVW, this doesn't need to be a double frame. It's okay. So we'll have to see what we're going to do. So let's go look at the other one I have, the other chassis. So this is another chassis I have, and it has bud wheels, lug centering wheels. And, you know, we may be able to use, either that axle, or it's a drop center, a real low drop center. This was a low profile truck, so I'm not going to use that front axle. The springs look like they're the right width. That's a much larger shock than what we have. This one has a DT360 Allison AT545 and bud wheels on the back as well. I don't know what rear end it is. I have the paperwork. I could figure it out, but that might be an option. I don't want a 2-speed rear end. I am not a fan of 2-speed rear ends at all. I could probably find low profile 22.5s to go on this that would work just fine. So yeah, let's look into that. I don't know what it is, but I seem to gravitate towards the oldest junk we have. It seems to be that's what I'm happiest with. Anyways, I don't think this is junk. Just think it's not the truck that we just got rid of, we just sold, but I'm happy with it. So look forward to doing some work to this one and using it and see what you can do. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one.